A few people wanted me to help with this stitch pattern from Five Below, and while I cannot show you the pattern because it is illegal and I could get in trouble because I did not write it, I can help you with some basic techniques. So it starts with a magic ring or magic circle if you want to call it. This is how I do my magic circles. Yarn over twice of my finger, pull over a loop and leave it on my finger. Pull over the loop again and only take one off of the finger, and that's where my magic loop starts on my hook. And then when I go to chain one, I make sure that my tail and my working yarn are both worked on so that when I pull on it, it will pull correctly. And the first stitches are 6. So I go 1 into the loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm just going to pull that stitch loose so I don't lose it. You just pull tight like that. Okay? You don't have to do a magic ring. You can just chain a couple as well and you'll get the pretty much same results. And just a disclaimer, this is fluffy yarn of my own. This is not the yarn that it comes with. So you can chain 2 or 4. Play around with what works and what will close the best for what yarn you're using. I'm going to try 2 because I'm working with a bigger yarn. Let's see. 1, 2, I'm going to try 3. 1, 2, 3. I chained 3. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the end. Chain 1. So I know where I am, and then in the middle I'm just going to do 6. 1, and if I'm a new crocheter, and in general with fluffy yarn it's hard to see, a lot of times I'll start with a stitch marker, especially at that first hard to see stitch, but I'm going to do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 2 different ways that you can start, especially if you're struggling with that magic ring. You don't have to do a magic ring. You can chain 3 or 4 and put them together and then put your stitches inside of that circle. And it should still be able to pull tight too. And then in this pattern, it doesn't have you increase with a join and then a chain 1. I chain 1 to begin with because I like to see my first stitch. Some people don't do that, but I get kind of lost, so that's usually what I do. It just has you go in continuous increases. So you find your first stitch, and to increase, you put 2 single crochets into every single stitch that you just made. So you'll end up with 12 stitches because 6 times 2 is 12. So I have 2 already, 1 increase, and be careful and find your next increase. 3, 4, the third increase, 5, 6, the next increase, which is the 4th one, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10 was on the 5th increase. I didn't go into a next stitch. Now I should have 1 stitch left to do my last increase in and give me 12. 11 and 12. And then one last tip I will give for this pattern that I used because of the way it's written and that it goes really fast. It has just really tiny, tight lines, and it doesn't give you a lot of room for notes or anything like that, is to have some kind of a little pad of paper by you. And if it says 4 rounds of 12 or whatever it says, I just do tally marks to keep track, especially if I get interrupted by my child or anybody else in the house or an animal, TV, whatever. I just do tally marks, and then I can just come back to the project, work on it for 20 minutes, go do my work, whatever. I don't sit and do these kind of projects usually for long periods of time unless I'm really lucky and get that time. So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying any kind of craft kits they're getting, and that might have helped anybody who needed to know about a magic circle, the 2 different techniques that you can do for those. 2 of them. There's lots of different ways to start them. Those are my 2 favorite ways. Have a great time, everyone.